Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another episode of Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali.
The Free Nationals.
My brain just shut off because I was wondering, did I say everybody? But yes, featuring Azem on the stuff and Jade on the other stuff.
Jade says hey too.
Hey.
But I hope we have a good tech day today. And
Jade got this thing unlocked.
So to the listeners and viewers,
if anything about it,
hopefully we have troubleshooted the issue that was rendering the live streams on YouTube and Facebook to malfunction. They have since been addressed and we are crossing our fingers today that they work. So log in, get comfortable. I've missed reading your comments and I've missed reading Cleo saying things that I wish that I know Cleo is gonna say. So please log in and good morning to everyone. I think we're ready. We're ready for y'all. But it has been a wonderful week so far, I guess. And it is now Tuesday, January 21st, 8:14 a.m. One more day till Friday. Whew.
Almost there, bro. Almost there.
Yes, almost there. But how was everyone's hump day?
Yesterday, what? No, yesterday, Jade. Yeah, Jade in shit one more right now. Jade working on things. No, I think yesterday, when I left here, what went down?
I just worked to me and good old Trent worked to fix this. To make sure the lives are up and running for the viewers and listeners.
Basically, Trent fix it. But Jade was here in support.
Yo, y'all just don't play me skills so much.
No, actually, when you're not here, everything falls apart. Wow. And everyone knows that. Big wink. But, yesterday was a slow day. Not necessarily. A lot of errands, a lot of running around. I've been feeling like when I leave here in the morning, like, my day doesn't slow down. Like, I feel like I constantly on the go. It's getting tiring.
Yeah, like...
It's adulting thing, right?
Right, because I usually don't go to bed until like 12 o'clock. And I'm up from since 6, so like... From 8 to 6 to about 10, 11, 12 work. That's not good.
You mean in PM, right?
Yeah.
It just sucks, to be honest, because it's like you go from this place in life where you, as a child, you have energy oozing out your ears, and you have so much energy to burn, and you are sort of told not to burn it, and then you get old where you're supposed to burn the energy that you were supposed to be burning as a child, and you don't have it, and you just literally feel your body slowing down, and it sucks. Like, I remember feeling my knees just like slowly stop working, and I was just kind of like, what? But I guess that's just the way the cookie crumbles. You just lose mobility slowly. But hey, we're still alive. We are in a position where we can enjoy our nation during COVID times. So there's still things to be thankful for.
Yeah, it's one of them things where we like you ask for it and then when you get it, it's not exactly what you hoped for.
Like when you ain't hit the double digits in your age yet, you can't wait to reach 12. Then when you reach 12, you can't wait to reach 16.
Well, 13, because you want the teen.
Well, 13, the teen. You want the teen. Then you can't wait to reach 16. Then when you reach 16, you can't wait to reach 18. Then 18 is like, yo, hit me that 21. Then when you reach 21, it's like, oh my God, next is 25.
Look, right?
Yeah, all of a sudden, it's like you realize, man, I'm downhill from here.
And then after I passed 25, I was just like, but the next landmark is 30. Then the next, and then the landmarks just get smaller.
Yeah.
Well,
further apart.
So Before it was what? 12, 13, 16, 18, 21. Now is 30, 40, 50. Skip over 60 and hit 75.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and then 99. and then when you reach right down to the end, then they get
small again. You
so like
celebrate
99 and 100.
Yeah, you celebrate the small mercies.
I used to can't wait to be an adult. I don't know what was wrong with me as a child. Like I just used to be like, as soon as I'm an adult, I could do what I want. I'm gonna have all this money, and I'm gonna be like.
And see, that's what they sold us. They sold us the independence. They sold us the independence
I never got caught with that. I had never gotten caught with that. I was one of them people who realized that my high school life was amazing.
I did enjoy my high school life.
And didn't really want to leave.
Well,
I was like,
me.
so I gotta go work. Like I was watching my parents.
Not me.
I was like, all I do is go work and go church. I don't want to do that there. I don't want to do that. So, I mean, ironically, you know, I'm older. I do the exact same thing. But
so apparently, I said today is Tuesday.
You did?
Apparently. So today is Thursday. Whoops.
Well, that was a test to see if you are listening.
Yeah,
for real.
that was a test to see.
People still dropping that excuse there.
The test? It was a test.
It was a test.
It was a test to see if y'all alert and wake and to check to see if the live stream's working, and they are.
See, there we go.
But you know what today is though? It's Thursday. And you know what that means? It's time to grind some gears.
So anything pissed me off this week, boy? I don't think so. Besides technical issues. Other than that, no.
Technically what?
Other than technical issues.
Oh. I don't that wouldn't be a grindable gear for me. But
yeah, I think nothing like
oops.
I'm pretty chill.
Yeah, that ain't a grindable gear for me. So let's see.
Amali look like he just going to on the street coming in.
Of course.
As if nothing at all bothered you today, nothing ruffled your feathers.
I mean, you see me. You know, I barely have feathers to ruffle.
That's true.
Amali, I'm to headphones.
Yeah. Flip them on.
Oh, it was one of them days, bye. That's one of the things that when you like it happens, you get that feeling like you're gonna be one of them days.
No. Every day for me is one of them days.
Oh,
okay.
Somebody just sent me a message that just made me laugh. I can't read it.
We can tell.
Loud. I can't read it out loud. Behave yourself. But
no. To be honest, to be honest, the nation has been mindful of my anxiety this week, and has been doing its part to aid in my mental health and my mental emotional well-being.
The nation has been doing it?
Yeah. I mean, really, how much to me ain't got no grace to grind.
The universe.
I mean, even the universe care that much.
When I said universe, I'm talking about the
Supreme Power.
Yeah, I mean just.
You mean me? But we are all gods in our own right. God is within us.
Somebody let me stand up behind the light and put a cut out frisbee on my head. And
I've been here for a while, but all the common school parents block up the parking lot.
Oh, right, that happens. Yeah. That's a gear to go in there.
Stand up, they waiting to.
Like people just park where they ain't supposed to park and block up everything.
which just happened to me quite often. I just literally be in the parking lot watching the student, and then I just be like, I need to park there. I come in and they jump out. They can't walk off.
I think that's going.
Exactly what's happened.
I think that's going actually.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there, and then they come back and sorry, you're parking here. Yeah, like 10 minutes ago. If you are
is not amused.
if you are a parent of a child at the convent school,
A child or a children?
children,
Indeed.
please don't park in random spots in the Sands complex to drop your kids off, because you are obstructing the actual parkees from parking. which prevents us from getting on the air on time,
But
which
hold
then
on.
leads to y'all sending emails and fretting and fussing that we haven't started the show on time.
But is it a matter that like Convent School and the traffic on George Street
Is the traffic
expects like the parents to somehow just
hit the eject
like,
button and they can't just launch the child in
just
the
like
yard?
ease up in front of the gate, open the door each over, they don't just like shut them out.
Yeah, you gotta hit eject and launch them in the yard
Oh.
because you ain't
Just
got
get
no
them the
time to.
jetpacks. I did, you know.
Yeah,
It's
there's actually nothing over there to facilitate parents
The
taking
drop
their kids
off.
to school.
Yeah.
No.
Nothing. Because the whole shit is the other line.
the most schools have those things because I don't think Maricelia has that either.
No, I'm saying that you just
But man,
you just
see, the
stop.
line.
You just stop.
Oh.
Allow your child to exit. I mean, understand and keep it moving.
And most schools typically aren't on a busy community road.
Because even like Basti High, which is the high school, you do have a drive-in. You could drive in and
But nobody
drive.
used to drive in.
That's the right?
Some parents used to drive in.
Drive in. Like nobody used to
They stopped
drive.
after a while.
Nobody used to drive in.
They
You
stop
slow
it.
down.
They stop it after. My parents was driving.
Yeah, mine too.
You stop. Actually, Victoria Road, you come down. And to me, Victoria Road way more busier. People just stop outside the gate.
But that's high school though. We're talking about people in kindergarten and so they want to walk the child into the school.
Make sure the
into the
child get
school.
to the class and
That's the problem.
make sure
It's the
they.
younger kids.
Yeah.
I know at some schools, well, I lived up the road from a primary school in the US.
In your past life?
No. It's
Well,
all
I-
one life, Jade.
Oh, okay. Just thinking that.
So
From time, what is it? Immemorial? Immemorial?
Immemorial.
Immemorial.
Yeah. But I was living next to a primary school, and they had liaisons who would help. So the older students would actually escort the younger children into the school and to their class and things like that.
And the issue with Josh Street is with the street as well.
George Street, they
Victoria
mean.
Road, you could pull over and it won't obstruct traffic to that extent.
Right.
But
That part of the street is one way? That part of the street is one way though, right?
yeah. So when you have 2 or 3 parents parked in front of the school, half loading kid, that's it.
That's the whole
You
road.
got Jade Street. They get back in traffic behind you.
That's what I tell you. I don't think most of the schools have like those kind of drop-offs.
Which then unfortunately leads these parents to opt for the science complex because you could maneuver in there, you got the wait time. But if you're a parent, don't park in a spot.
Mm-hmm.
Just
But this part's taken, so when you park.
No, I think when a lot of the parents come, don't they be pretty open still?
yeah,
So that's why there's spots for them to park in.
But
because
not
they come in
only
at like
that,
before 8 and
What time does the
When I say no
parking
spots-
lot over there open? At
You
8?
open all the time.
which one?
The one on Import Center.
You open all the time. They
You,
just don't.
you know they ain't gonna park down there to walk the child across the
And it
sand
costs money
across
too.
it. Yeah,
No.
It's free before, I think.
Free
what-
before 9.
9 or 8
So-
or something.
8.
What, they ain't bad? Like,
So you
the
go park
signs
over
right-
there and walk through the signs, is it?
Yeah.
Pass over and carry the kids to school?
If you really, because if you're tying up traffic that bad every day.
Who care about traffic?
I think
Okay.
that's the point, and that's the point I'm making. Like, I mean, I do understand for the younger kids. I understand for the younger kids, but I mean, I see the drop off process less than 30 seconds. Traffic will be slow, but I think that's expected if you're going to a school to drop off your kids. Yeah.
Nah, it's tough. It's tough for them.
I think it's just the parents just want to have that moment in the morning. Make sure they have the bag, make sure give them the little pep talk.
Yeah, you know,
before
and
they-
then make sure they have their water bottle, the
Yeah,
lunch
all that
kit,
thing, yeah.
make
So-
sure the
so
lunch bag
I
goes
think
where
it's
it's
just
supposed
like,
to be.
give them a kick on the bum and say, hey, don't fight. And go, but
don't tip your clothes.
Come on,
yeah.
Mika.
Go make your hands me washing. But apparently some parents,
I love him.
apparently,
Strange phenomenon here.
I don't know. I mean, it's 2021, all kind of things happening.
Some hugs.
Yeah. Don't bypass your school. In the morning, funnily, you see how the town set up, right? It's that people who live in the town who going to work in the morning ain't got to drive past the town school. They could exit over on Pan Road from the many exits over on the side of the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you to school in the morning, the only traffic for the school with people jumping on the drain.
But I don't know. See, for me, I avoid the school zones if possible. All right? 'Cause I know the school, so And even, for instance...
You mean driving on a regular basis, not when you're dropping off your kids?
Not when I'm dropping off my kids, no. But when like I come in here in the morning, I'd quicker drive the Bay Road if possible. Now if I have to pick up like Jade or carry my mother to work or whatever, I have to drive into town.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I do have to pass like the 7-day primary, which does have
The
you know,
pull-off,
a pull up. They have a whole drop off because you drive across and go to the back. So you, like they ain't even being dropped off near the traffic.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a backup. It does slow you down. It does slow you down to some extent.
But at least it's a better. I feel like that's better
Yeah.
the way that school is set up. Like if more, I don't know how more schools could adapt that strategy
Don't have the space.
I just want to say they're already built. So like Maricelian can just do a dig out for them to be able to drive and.
Maricelian a little different though, because of Nevis Street. So you don't have to go on Nevis Street. You know what I mean? Like I think. But what I'm saying is, if you know you ain't going to the school, avoid the school zones.
The issue, because there ain't other people trying to pass, the issue, other parents,
But that's my thing, like, if it's the parents, then that would be the same even if we had a drop-off facility.
Right,
like,
because there are some parents that go in and like stay in. Like, there's some parents that literally, because I wait, like, there's some parents that will park in the spot that I'm supposed to park in, because if I park in another spot, then I can't leave in the morning because the owner for the spot will block me in. But I would wait, and the parent will literally run across the street with the child, take the child, they'll vanish behind the buildings, and then come back 2 seconds later. So it's just like, okay, you're keeping me back, but not ain't so bad. But then there are some parents who will vanish.
You got to keep a conversation, got to talk to this
and you'd swear they have to build the child desk. And they won't come back. They wouldn't come back. And then I saw a parent once coming back, stopping the road, turned back and went. And it's just like, y'all can't be serious.
It's all for the kids. It's for the kids. The children are our future.
Aye, watch your future.
See, Carla is a culprit. Carla Stefan, she's saying she used to do that straight, and she said if the man who looked after the sons could arrest her, he'd arrest her one time.
Oh yeah, Clyde don't play them there.
Not at all. He catch you, he will.
I see Clyde literally crossed the road after what appeared the other day.
But just now, basically, open somebody can do. I see the woman park here and jump out with the child and went across the street, right? And Clyde bust the car number here, so she come out.
Oh, okay.
So you realize the engine on, open the car door. And the man in the car door and I went over to school.
Clyde does wake up and choose violence every morning.
Every day.
But you kind of have to, because people would, let me tell you something, if he wasn't the way he is, people would just do as they like.
Maybe if you fall.
The people that pay for the spots in the stands wouldn't be able to park.
No.
Not just
Clyde, don't pull me up.
If he ain't the way he is he bumming in the fire?
Yeah.
When people come walk on other cars there,
okay.
Like,
Clyde, hey, you know much time we up here and Clyde come call for me. Jade gotta be like, yeah, you gotta come over your car. To the point now, if I come and somebody's in the space that I was told to use, I just go and pay the $5. Like I can't even having to deal with Clyde, so I just pay the $5 and come back.
I have 2 spots.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, you privileged?
I have 2 as well.
So, I mean, as a misuse, is that child by?
But I found that recently there's a particular vehicle that parks in my designated spot. Once I reached before 7:45, again, but it was like 7:50 and so, the person is there. But I realized for the last 2 days, somebody's been parking in my secondary spot as well.
Oh wow. Bye.
But the person who was parking in my first spot stopped parking in my first spot. So me and not going on. It's a different vehicle. Eh? For like 2 weeks straight, it was one particular vehicle in this spot every morning. I was just like, but I had the backup spot, so it was just bust the car now, park up and come upstairs. But now it's the other way around.
Wow. But at least you have options. Life is about options.
Yes.
Me, if somebody in a spot there, well, before Clyde take out my vehicle and put it on the back.
But both my spots are only valid up until about 10:15.
Well, okay.
After that, I must vacate the area. Because they really want to come in for it after 10. It's amazing, the man, when everybody come in here.
But the man got in here
And I
lock.
know when everybody come in, like,
Man got in
yo,
here lock.
C14, not there. 9:45, so I can't get up until 9:30, but I gotta leave.
Let's see. We have to go in some gears, some other gears. Yeah, let's take a pause and we come back with some more gears to grind, and of course, listeners and viewers, you can call or comment
Oh, we have viewers today?
for gears to be ground. So
So
we will grind them for you.
Let's do this.
So we'll take a minute and we'll be right back.
Things happening.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. WINN FM.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less with our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali, and it is still Thursday.
And it's 8:37.
8:37 a.m.
Indeed.
Indeed.
I may finish me half with tuna fish in the break, bye.
Who found that?
Ah, you got me over here singing. Deborah Laws.
But it is now time to grind some gears, and I think Amali has a gear to be ground first.
A serious. Actually,
gear
I went yesterday and abused everybody yesterday. Everybody else abused them.
that will start a revolution. So proceed with your gear to be ground.
First, I'll begin with a question to my fellow panelists. You gentlemen, where's Jade? I want Jade in here for this.
Why not Jade? She says she coming, but
Jade!
so she coming.
Because I want the females' input as well.
I hear some cheer like you.
I know Jade is a woman different.
Oh, here she comes.
Firstly, I'll begin with a question. Did you folks know? And I'll give you a scenario that if a 14-year-old boy and a 14-year-old girl engage in sexual activity, that the boy is actually liable for charges?
Yeah, he's the aggressor.
Yes.
I didn't know this. And I found out yesterday from a police associate of mine, and I told him he's a liar and a swindler and a thief.
I've seen that happen.
So he proceeds to call the inspector in charge of the division
Victims unit.
and put him on speakerphone. And the inspector did confirm. He said, Amali, yes. He says, as a matter of fact, we have a case before the court as we speak. A 14-year-old boy is being charged for having sex with a 15-year-old girl.
Even if the girl is older.
And the initiator.
Wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Life as a man, eh?
So I posed a question to the inspector. He said, based on what sex is defined as in our laws currently, because it's a technicality really.
Yeah.
Based on what sex is defined as in our laws, a woman can't have sex with a man.
Right.
Because sex is defined as the insertion of a penis into a vagina.
Hold on.
So women can't insert.
Women can't insert, therefore women can't have sex with a man. However, I posed this argument to both officers, and both of them were stumped because the noise is ridiculous.
But they don't start ridiculous, so
Yeah,
easy
like
to.
no matter what.
So I asked them if it makes sense to them, they say yeah. I said, okay, no problem. So why is it that if a 15-year-old boy has sex with a 30-year-old woman, she's arrested, she can't have sex with him?
She can't have sex with him, exactly.
All of a sudden she can have sex because she's over 16 or over 18, but when she was 15 she couldn't have sex, and now the 14-year-old boy got to get juvie or whatever you can get?
I've had this exact same discussion. Crazy.
They say, boy.
And that was the exact response.
But that's different. That's ain't different.
It's not.
You just tell me that according to the law, women can't have sex with a man. So.
My defense, because with the whole age thing and so, if the law states that, the age of consent is X, and a man or woman over the age of X engages with a person under the age of X, fine. I can accept that argument. But to say that two people under the age of X engage consensually, even though they can't legally give consent, but the boy is the only one that faces a criminal charge, is absolutely outrageous and disgusting. And it is sexist.
Yeah.
And that needs to be addressed.
That's the amount of things that need to be addressed.
That need to be addressed, direct sense.
I feel like we have a long list of things that need to be addressed.
But
So woman come in, right? Hold on, the woman come in the bar after you. And I asked her, the woman, I asked her if she knows. She said, yeah, no. She said, you think it makes sense? She said, yeah, charge him. I said, you feel the girl's supposed to get charged too? And she said, yes, the two of them. I said, okay, all right.
If you're going to charge,
let's not even go on the show. Don't charge none of them.
I don't
Don't even go on the show. Don't charge people for natural.
For doing whatever with the bodies.
I feel like, when it comes to this
Natural
thing,
not only that, it's necessary to the
for procreation.
But
the funny thing is, these people that are enforcing these things are the same people who are who are 12 and 15 and are doing the same things that are being criminally prosecuted. Like
No, what happens is that a lot of times the people that are put in a position to enforce the law and the people that make the laws.
Well, yeah,
the people that make the laws have other things on the plate, right. And so these things just kind of steady until there is enough public outrage
to
force.
Well, they always say today I can't talk about it every day, because right now there's an innocent 14-year-old boy facing the court
For doing
That's rough, boy.
what we always do.
So wait,
And the 15-year-old girl home relaxing, eating ice cream, watching whatever 15-year-olds watch.
So let me ask you a question, right?
No repercussions whatsoever, just comfortable.
So now this child going to be turned into a sex offender? That's what's going to happen? Like he's
I
going
don't know
to
about the actual charges.
You don't know the child, but it has to be a sexual offense.
But it gotta be
sex.
So if,
well, it is different the court, not different the court good.
but no, I've seen.
No,
I've,
I mean,
I've
I'm trying to figure out what exactly.
What the charges?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Somebody need to tell us.
He's having sex with a minor? I don't know.
I've seen cases where the same thing happened, where this thing went on, and then, as we say, they make up the case out of court. Meaning the parents of the young man,
because the inspector went
who was
down
underage would have paid the parents some money of the girl, and they call it a day.
Why?
Maybe.
Okay, unless it's a...
Because you want your child to go court.
No, I mean,
for
why
sex
do you
charge.
have to pay the parent if both...
No, you pay the parent of
To
the
drop-
girl.
to drop the
I
charges.
know,
Charge.
I'm saying, but why is that a necessary thing? Like, why does this even exist? Because if it's two consenting...
They can't give
not
consent.
adults.
They
Okay,
can't give consent.
if two kids...
Neither know who you consent, but only one of them guilty. That ain't make no sense to me at all.
Yeah,
no?
that's what I mean. Like, that shouldn't be it. It needs to be, like...
And not only that,
And folks,
not only that, I could see situations where that would apply, but I can't see a situation where the guiltiness is based solely on gender or sex.
Exactly.
Right.
And like I was going to say, folks, we're not talking about a sexual assault. We're not talking about rape.
Right,
We're
exactly.
talking about
Two high
teenagers.
school teenagers that are dating
Armony.
are in a relationship, and the two of them choose
Yes, Armony.
to
Sometimes it does that.
explore.
Yeah, that's not fair for you
They
to
shoot up
charge
the poor boy,
child.
and they're going to go home just...
No, but you know what kind of trauma? You know what kind of
Waiting for the
trauma
pills.
you suffer for that?
A lot, because now you feel like what you did is wrong. Like, you feel like sex is wrong. As adults, we've been saying sex is right and all of this. Now the child feel like sex is wrong because he got arrested and charged.
And she's 15, you know? But if you waited a few months for her to make 16, it would be perfectly fine.
No. She would have been.
Yeah, no, she would have been in trouble.
The one
Yeah.
who would have been in trouble.
Why?
She's 16.
'Cause now she's the consenting one.
Right, so she would have been the one who had sex with a minor.
But that don't only apply after turn 18, no?
No,
I don't think so. I think it's 16 too.
The age of consent is 16.
I understand that.
No. But remember, 16 ain't got nothing to do with what you do to
Exactly.
somebody. You know, it's them having now the
Exactly.
ability.
So what I believe,
to
and
give permission.
come when you can call in and text me and verify, but I believe, man, I could be right. I believe
It's
it
18.
only applies the other way if you're 18 and have sex with somebody under
So there's
16.
a little grey area.
There's a gray area between 16 and 18. That's what I believe.
There's a little
basically
foreplay.
none
There's a
of
little
this
So
makes
foreplay.
somebody who knows better can call in and correct me if I'm wrong. But
So none of this makes sense then. None.
no, it makes sense.
St Kitts has.
You could be 18. So basically, you could give consent for somebody else older than you to have sex with you when you're 16. But if you are
But
you have to wait till 18 for you to.
No. Hold, wait. No, Jade, wait. Again, this is where I just get very frustrated when we have these kind of conversations. I think this is a deeper problem. We don't teach what consent is.
Yep. We expect people to exercise consent and don't teach them what it is.
Teach what consent is. So there's a lot
Oh,
of
but you
people
didn't
who
consent.
feel-
How does someone even know how to consent if they don't even know what consent truly is?
and we don't know how to use it either, because consent is not absolute. That's one thing I realize a lot of men don't understand.
And the thing is too,
Bye.
They
and
don't
that's the
understand
thing,
that consent-
and they say it all the
consent
time,
can be taken back
at any moment.
at any
Mid-stroke.
moment.
No, all I hear
Mid
is-
stroke, and then after that, it becomes your word again, so is it?
Oh, well,
Because if consent is
Yeah.
withdrawn mid stroke, right? All she can say is he shot one more time after he said stop.
But it's just like food. You order,
And-
you ask for
And you're not
food.
bush.
You ask for food. You start eating. You don't want to eat anymore. You can stop eating.
yep.
And I support that.
Right.
I support that. But
And the
it's-
thing
it's
is, so you could stop
fickle.
eating and start eating again.
This is why.
It's. Oh,
This is
jeez.
why people
Come on.
these
For the
conversations
first
need to
time
be
in-
had
for the
with
first
the
time since we
partners.
begin this show, I finally understand why you want the dog.
Yeah.
Maybe dog ain't have these issues.
The man got it figured out, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is why it's important to have conversations with your partners. And but the problem is
Oh, they were 16 though.
yeah, no, but the problem is, Amali, what I've recognized is most of us aren't mature enough
To have conversations.
to have these kind of conversations.
It is true.
We're mature enough to say, girl, this is what I want to do to you, or boy, you don't come do this to me. But we're not mature enough to have conversations about when was the last time you went, would you go and get tested with me so that I feel
so you feel more safe,
yeah, like where are we going where I could feel safe and be able to express myself.
Okay,
what is okay, what's not okay, like where do you see this going? We're not mature to having those kind of conversations. We're only mature enough to have the conversations, and part of that is because we're not taught that, whether by media, never by school, by parents, by church. Like, we're not taught these things. So where we do get our education from is friends and porn.
Yeah, the word.
Friends and porn that leave a lot out. Like there's a lot being left out.
Many steps.
Yeah.
Many steps.
Yeah.
Many steps.
And that's all what it boils down to. We're expecting people. We hide every single thing about it. We hide it for all of the time when they're supposed to be learning about it. Then suddenly, when they hit the age of consent, we expect them to know about it and exercise it.
And if they make a mistake, we ridicule them.
Boss, let me tell you something, right? One of the things I can't understand is how you go from one day, don't do this. Because let's be honest, most of our institutions preach abstinence still. Ridiculous. So you go, don't do it. And since we're preaching don't do it, then we can't teach you how to do it safely and responsibly, right? And then overnight, right? And then overnight, we encourage you to do it. Without having prepared you to how to do it safely and responsibly.
You know what, really? People pay more attention on, like, teaching kids that have to go up to be married and stuff. They don't teach them what it is about a
even thing is a name.
They don't teach them like what it takes for a marriage to work. Like we've not.
You don't teach children anything.
Well, they know because I love them.
That's why you're supposed
Nobody
to get
knows what
married
a
and
marriage
settle
is.
down and be with somebody forever and have kids with that one person. You see how good that sound on paper?
But then think even what name? There's a Netflix show that just come out, Bridgerton. In it, there's a portion where it's back in them days.
So spoiler alert. Let me know.
No spoiler.
Okay.
But back in them days where the courtship and the suitors come into court and all these things, and somebody gets married in the show, and after the marriage, the guy is trying to engage in consummating the marriage, and the woman has no clue. She's like, I don't know what this is. Nobody ever talked to me. Then she went to her mother and says, is there something supposed to happen? And the mother's just like, well, when you come to an age, and basically dance on the subject, and then the girl is still left clueless, and then left for the man who basically is allowed to go to brothels and all sorts of stuff, has to teach her. And it's just like, how do you expect people to jump from being hidden? All information is hidden forever, and they just toss them into it.
Kevon, do you remember this show where it was this girl who grew up in a Jewish, like a Hasidic Jewish community, and it ended up running away because she wanted to sing? She ended up cutting off her hair and all this.
I know what you mean, but I don't remember.
Oh, but that was the same. That was the same situation with her. But in that case, it was even more pressure because having not been taught any of this, she's yet expected
to perform it.
No, not just to perform it, but the onus is on her to satisfy the needs of her partner.
She has to be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it's your responsibility. You don't know how to do it, but it's your responsibility.
That's why, because that's not even like abnormal. A lot of people get into relationships and expect to satisfy somebody, but they don't ask them what they like. So like, how you going to know?
But the thing is too, they don't even know how to ask them what they like, because that person in themselves never even was taught anything.
But boss, well, this is maybe, I don't know, maybe we're going down a dark path here, but the truth is
going down to the reach.
No, the truth is there are a lot of people out there having lots of sex, but there seems to be very few people that are having great sex. So there is a quantity versus quality issue that is happening.
That is true.
And I don't think that is being spoken about enough, because we again romanticize intimacy. We romanticize sex, and it's like it's this amazing thing, everything is so great and all that, and we don't speak about the fact that just like everything else in life, there's room for improvement. There's no one way for everybody. There's not one thing that works for everybody. And so we just all have this farce that we play, and we are just fraudulent and running our own life. And
I know, it's funny, like you can
ridiculous.
see your friend say that they like something, and then you're gonna think, I might like this too.
That ain't even what the main thing is. The main thing is they're watching porn. The woman seem to be having this amazing time, and you associate
That
whatever that
sex,
action is with that sense of pleasure, right? And not realizing that one,
It's performative.
It's performative, right? And in a lot of cases, it's not only just a performative, but it's a gross exaggeration.
Gross.
Right?
Huge.
A over exaggeration and all, right? And so, what you associate pleasure with sometimes is not what's pleasurable for you.
Right.
And that is a very dark place to be.
I know what's funny.
Because what's happening is that there's a disassociation between your mind and your body. In other words, reality and fantasy are not coinciding, and you're somewhere caught in the middle. And unable to discern between the two and what is and what is not.
But you know what's funny? This is where most younger people get their education from, I should say. Because from high school, you know, boys and girls watching these things. So if this is where they're learning, because the parents not telling them anything, the school not telling them anything, church, wherever they go to get advice, they're not telling them that part of it. So now you open your laptop when your parents gone to sleep, and this is what you're watching. And then you just, in your mind, this is what you're supposed to do.
It's outrageous. I'm talking to a girl yesterday.
You're being taught at everything that this is what you're supposed to do. And if you're not doing it, something wrong with you.
Yeah, I was talking to. We have a call. Hopefully it's Cromwell, but probably not. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Yes. Good morning, my friend.
My friend.
Morning.
Well, maybe back then, like you said, a lot of these things was not taught. But I mean, you have schools today. At a tender age, they're teaching you about your body and all those stuff in school here in America. And when it comes to church, I can only speak from my church. I don't know about any other church. But on fourth Sunday, we have a relationship night. And that is where our pastor teaches about what marriage and what happened in marriage and those things. And we don't, at first we used to say we should exclude the singles, especially the little ones, but the little ones stay. Our pastor let the little ones stay because we don't go into, raunchy. He don't teach his raunchy. So you get to be taught about what is expected when you go into marriage. And I mean, for me, I find a lot of these things just come natural because I got married young, and I don't recall anybody sitting me down and telling me what is expected in a marriage. It just came natural. It's just like when I had my daughter, at age 18, I don't recall anybody telling me how to take care of a child either. I guess it's because as when we're growing up in the Caribbean, I grew up in the Caribbean partly. I came to America very young, but I mean, when we growing up, we just naturally when mama gone, you better look after your little brother or little sister.
Mm-hmm.
You had that experience looking after your little brother or your little sister. So when I had my daughter, nobody taught me how to take care of her. It just falls naturally. So I don't know, but it is good if you find children need to be taught to. It is good to talk to your kids. And I mean, when it comes, I have kids, and I teach my kids to respect their body, I guess, because they're growing up in church. One of them born in church, two of them came into church at a tender age, and I teach them to respect their body and wait till marriage to go do adult things. So I guess it's up to the parents for us to teach our children.
Yeah.
You have a good day, my friend.
You too, my friend. I do think that it's also up to the parents to also educate the children as well. But then in the same breath, you're sometimes asking parents who were never taught to teach
The truth is, Kevon, it's an all of society approach, because parents, teachers, the health system, the churches, they have so much responsibility, right? And there is just so many different angles. So this is what happens, right? The church, it is not the church responsibility to prepare people for marriage and sex. It's not the school's sole responsibility to prepare people. So what happens is, there are industries though that their sole purpose is to sell sex. And so whose voice you think is going to be more amplified as it relates to the topic of sex? The industries that are geared directly towards that.
Listen to me.
So the rest of society now, because
they're playing catch up.
Not only playing catch up, but they're playing catch up whilst they fight among themselves, because nobody could decide on exactly what it is that we should be teaching in the first place. So you go to the school, one guidance counselor going to teach responsible sexual habits,
the next one
teaching abstinence. Right?
And then somebody that learned abstinence going to meet someone that was taught good practices, and then what you get.
And then the child learn good practices in school and go home. Like a friend of mine yesterday would tell me that the first time she father here, she got a boyfriend, he bang her for the whole day.
Wow.
But no,
Wow.
She was in second form, and somebody tell her, boy, I hear she got a little boyfriend there. And he asked about it, and she was honest.
Dicks.
The girl said she get blows for the whole day.
And then guess what? The boy that was her boyfriend get praises a bit.
I don't know.
They ain't even really his fault, because like
they're doing what they do.
You know what's so stupid for me? A lot of these men, right, who have daughters, they've been doing the same thing.
Speak, sister.
But that's exactly why they.
That's why they do it, because they know who they are.
The thing is, they know you can't beat this out of somebody. Like, they're not going to.
It's guilt. It's guilt.
So you're beating me out of guilt?
They know what they are.
Don't beat me because you feel guilty because of how you used to operate. Like, how is that supposed to help this relationship between me and you? Like, no, me gonna want to tell you nothing.
Nothing at all.
Because all I gonna be like is.
And they fall in the trap of they face life challenges and have nobody to go to, because the people they trust to go to bust the face and it's the last time.
And then the person that want them to be open with them, just beat them anytime they try.
Exactly. Right. Like, you can't beat me and
talk to me. What's going on?
You're gonna
and then the child can say, oh, this licks.
You can't create a safe space out of violence. That's not how it works.
Well,
so you can't beat me and then tell me, yeah, it's okay for you to come talk to me about anything. Like, you literally just throw me down because I tell you something that is less than what I really want to have to tell you.
Yeah, bye.
I can't tell you because
you can throw me down again.
Yeah.
Well, I think that I'm one of the people that I don't advocate for violence in anything. So I mean in the banging children and all them kind of things, yeah. Because what happens now is that there are people who would agree with us on this topic, but then go bang the children for other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That ain't me. And at the same time, me tell nobody how to raise a children. Because nobody tell me how to raise mine. No. But at the same time, bear in mind that all these decisions have consequences. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to be constantly making certain decisions and carrying out certain behavior and actions, just please be aware of the repercussions.
Yeah.
Like if you want the people who gonna be banging children and so, like, try and be as open as you can be to what the reality of that situation is.
Yeah, just understand that at some point that's going to backfire.
Right. And but again, this is one of the other things that upset me about our culture here. Like, these are the things that we glorify and romanticize. Like, and we do it like good little slaves. Like, we go. I remember being in school and having conversations about whose parents are more violent. And it was almost like a competition to see who parent could be the most violent. But yeah, my mother the bang me a belt. Oh, but my mother go out and pick a tammy with by who? But my mother the bang me
even on to licks. If you have a conversation with somebody and somebody in the house says, I don't get licks, it's just kind of like, but what? You don't get licks.
We equate love to fear, and no, like, you can't. I feel like a lot of parents have this way where they don't think that there's no other way for their child to respect them unless they fear them.
See, what happens is that when we discuss these topics, generally the response is, but look how it turned out. And my argument is that, my counter argument to that is, you did not become the person you are because of flicks. You became the person you are in spite of being beaten. So don't look at this one part of your upbringing.
Or you could just respond and say, and you could have been better.
Yeah, but you see, you see, that is an assumption. So I don't want to make the assumption.
It's not an assumption.
No, but you're just saying you could have.
You could have.
If it's somebody,
or you could have not. Assumption is just like showing you a different possibility.
A possibility.
Yeah, it's possible you could be a better person.
Using that whole, oh, look how good I turn out, when you literally shouting after your kids and you literally just intimidate your wife.
So they could turn out good too.
Yeah, bro.
No,
that's what I'm saying. That's the argument. So they could turn out good too.
We have a caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Hey, morning. I know you're here.
Hi.
Good show.
You're in good standing with us this morning, so go ahead.
Just want to make two contributions. The part where you spoke about, one of you said about how people will get married just because they love each other, and I wanted to remind all of us that, in as much as I have no experience when it comes to marriage, but merely loving someone is not enough.
Amen.
To even be with them.
Amen.
Love makes things easier. But there are so many other levels that need to be determined before you make that decision. And we all seem to think that love is the be-all and the cure-all and for everything. And I can love you, and because I love you, I can choose not to be with you.
Wow.
Right, exactly. Sometimes you love people and you know that you are who you are is going to cause them pain.
Or vice versa. And you just have to make that tough choice. Out of love.
It's either you do that or you live with regret. You know, so I continue to be this advocate, to people who think that, oh, we love each other. Well, okay, what else? Are you intentional about actually displaying that love? I mean, love is best displayed when you don't feel like showing love. That's when I would definitely feel, okay, yeah. Even missing me. Don't miss me when you're lonely. Miss me when you are doing something that you wish you had me there to share with me.
Oh my God.
Then I will feel even that much more value about how you feel towards me. That's the first thing. The second thing is there's something called toxic love. So, in as much as love is there, parents love their children. That's a given. But that also can be toxic.
Indeed.
And we children will always gravitate towards what feels familiar. And I can't stress this enough, because when you're talking about gravitate what feels familiar, if you grew up in an environment where you were in this perpetual state of toxic love, but it feels comfortable.
Look, that's what you know.
That's what you know. It feels comfortable. So when you get into a situation where you're actually having somebody who's loving you healthily, you're not going to perceive that as love.
Receive it as, right, exactly.
It's just going to be taken for granted until you come in contact with what feels familiar, and then that's how that cycle just continues to perpetuate. So it's a bit frustrating, but I don't think this side of things is really being spoken about, and that's why you're going to see this cycle of this toxic behavior when it comes to interpersonal relationships, generation after generation, until we start to, from the very, very grassroots level, teach things like empathy and compassion and kindness, like from primary school. As much as you want to talk about math and English and all these things, the life skills that are required for a healthy interpersonal relationship get cultivated from early. And while we know, and because we know the home is broken, we know this, right? A lot of these homes are broken. We can start to break the cycle from outside in. You know, school is where you spend most of your waking hours during these adolescent years of your life. So that's where we should be stressing on reconditioning these young people with, again, these things that matter. Compassion, kindness, respect, actual classes, role play from early. It works, and I know why it works, because I see my daughter, who is a graduate of Kimon, Key Babies, shout out to Kimon, and I see all the children who went there relate to each other the same way. Every single one of them, they speak the same way, they refer to each other, they treat each other the same way, and I'm like, okay, this works. So you're a product of your environment. That is where you spend most of your waking hours. So I think that everything you guys are talking about is great. I just want to, again, once I see there's an opening, to be an advocate for going back to the grassroots in the schools, teach these things. Teach them. It will work. It will work. That's it for today. Make sure you guys tune in later tonight. Bye.
Bye, Enoch.
He just plugged his show on mine. Forgiven, because thank you for the contribution.
Yeah.
It was accepted.
Amali, are you okay, friend?
Amali was having
Amali a bit choked up, guys.
Alright, that deal.
Come on, give me my tissue, please. I can see the tears in his eyes.
That deal spoke to me on a personal level.
Think fast.
Yep.
On a personal level, because recently I experienced a situation with an individual, and everything he said just made all their actions make sense to me.
Right. You just lifted the veil.
All their action and inaction. Because for several weeks I've been frustrated and confused with the individual. I was like, why this idiot
right
behaving so? And everything he just sounded just like, and then thinking back about the individual's past and how they were raised.
It makes sense now.
And what they saw their parents go through, what they went through, what their siblings went through.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know anything else.
Right. Boss, I have been in relationship with people who, because of the way they communicated with their parents, only understand a certain level of confrontation and vitriol and argument. Like that is, and they have to get every interaction back to that, because that's what they know. And it's very frustrating for somebody who had the exact opposite. I'm very chill, I'm very calm, I'm very stoic.
Avoid confrontation and
that's me. Because when I get to that point, no, you do understand, I can't operate with the same level of control because I'm now outside of my comfortable space. So that's like, so when I get vexed, I get real vexed. Like when I get argumentative, I get real argumentative. This ain't a place I could navigate easily. I navigate easily in a place where we could have dialogue. I could sit, I could talk, and then I could listen to you. I could sit and you could talk, and I could acknowledge the fact that, oh, this person is actually hearing what I'm saying and responding to what I'm saying, and vice versa, and that kind of thing. But when it's just like you just moving the conversation to a place by using certain tactics, and people have these tactics that they use, like
willfulness.
Yeah.
Willful.
But
They want to trigger you.
But I don't even know. I don't even know how willful it is. At some point, I had to recognize that
it's innate.
Yes, she don't know what she's doing. Yeah. She don't know what she's doing. She doesn't see it.
That's how arguments go for her.
This is the tools they use.
You taunt and you throw insults, and in return you expect the person to take it up a notch, and then you take it up a notch.
Yeah. Literally, like people.
And then when y'all at your peak, you then say, "You ain't listening to me."
But we've not been listening.
In other words, this is how the argument ends. The argument ends when it gets to a place where the relationship is now at risk. And so because both of us want the relationship, we just kind of go.
We
just go, well, I want you, bang, 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 make up sex, and we go again until the next argument, which would probably be in about 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's how it goes,
But that's just how some people operate. Like they literally can't get through anything without violence, meaning like arguments and stuff, not literal physical violence, but like they're so
fighting words.
Yeah, it's so ingrained in them that they feel like they actually feel like if you ain't interact back with them the way that they interact with you, you don't love them or you don't care. Like it could never just be that you don't want to argue. If you don't argue back,
Jade
you don't love them
sometimes. Jade be preaching.
No, they think if you don't argue back that you don't love them or you don't care about them. Or
I know. I had a lot of American friends that just used to blow my mind. Like they would just do things to get reactions, and then that's how they validate their love.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of times, like a lot of the times, they would just say, "Oh, I'm not answering my boyfriend today." So I watch her and I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Oh, I want to see how much time he's gonna call me."
Yo, the test. What you don't test me.
You got so test me. Might not call again. Then at the end of the day, she gonna jump on the phone. You only call me twice today. You don't love me. Let me just like, what's this test? Why we testing
me? Ain't gonna go the way you think you're going to go. Because I literally literally I could detach myself from people so easily. So you could be testing me and like no, you look stupid because you do all of this. Me responding, no man about to continue because I realize that you this is what you just do.
I mean, reading nobody mind you.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
A test to me. If you test me, you are automatically failing me because I'm going to fail.
Me too. So just if you feel you need to test me, just
test me and
like girls and fail. Like you go out with a girl and to her not talking anything and she gonna go and bad our next man in front of you to see how you gonna respond to it.
Or like
this validation is just ridiculous.
Like the same thing Kevon said, like you gonna willfully not talk to me. You're gonna just not talk to me.
To test.
Everybody.
Well then I guess we're talking. Because
actually what I answer it. I want it.
Let me tell you something. You people need to stop making people fixers. I cannot fix whatever issues you have. You have to fix your issues. Because if you come to me expecting me to fix them by doing all kind of tests,
Jade,
you're going to still have issues. Because
Jade,
what could do?
The biggest issue here is that we are walking amongst a bunch of people who are
emotionally immature
and unaware of themselves. There's no self-awareness.
Go to therapy.
What now? When I was in Canada, I was a part of an organization called Peaceful Schools International. It spreads across several countries in North America and Europe. So one February, a group of 18 of us traveled to Ireland to visit a bunch of schools. I think it was 12 or 13 schools, middle schools, to teach peace education to the tots. And let me tell you something, right? I don't know if you all are aware of, but Azem probably was aware because he probably was in Ireland at the time, back in the 70s where they had the troubles.
Yeah, the IRF?
Yeah. The Catholics versus the Protestants.
Yeah, man, that was nasty.
Yeah. Right? So there was lots of turmoil in the country. When I say turmoil, I'm talking about civil war. Car bombs every day. Kidnappings, murders, assassinations. Like it was. And his words, again, his way it is. It was so funny to me. Anyway. Right? So the school board decided to undo all that damage because it's deeply rooted, and there are people that are alive that fought in the struggles, that were soldiers on either sides of the army. We interviewed them and they told us the stories and so on. They're like in the 60s, so it was like just the other day happened, right? But they still had that in the back of their mind, so a Catholic would still watch a Protestant and be like, yo, like, main justice man.
Yeah, Derek.
And even today there are still families that are feuding because of it, right? So the school board decided, listen, we need to undo this damage and teach peace in the schools to the young ones. And let me tell you something, right? A ball. I went to a particular school, right?
What you know about?
Nothing.
It's not about the kids,
I'm not just ball.
It's not about I like kids and love. Anyway. In this particular middle school, the principal took it upon himself to take it a step further and actually instill programs and so, implement programs and so in the school that would perpetuate this like Inarita was talking about empathy and forgiveness and peace and love and that kind of stuff.
Like part of the curriculum. Yeah.
It's part of the everyday the everyday thing. As a matter of fact, the school has a charter of rights and freedoms.
Right.
That the school students have to learn, and part of the charter of rights and freedoms is that you can't do anything that will offend or hurt your fellow student.
You know why that makes so much sense? Kids spend most of the time at school, right?
Yes.
Where would you like you can't just teach them educational skills like math and language, and we have to teach them about themselves and feelings and stuff, because they're here and they're learning, that don't mean that they're still not dealing with their feelings.
Watch it, that's school there, right? The students are, I'm talking about from like 5 years old, right? The students are
that's
so
the best time.
disciplined, right? Let me tell you something. The sad one, not there. The students do everything. The students know that there's a schedule. For example, we're there and then lunchtime came and we're in the classrooms, and then we just see a little boy like 7 come to the door and call to students, and then the farmers of the students have to take care of the lunchtime responsibilities. I was like, what do you mean lunchtime responsibilities? And they said, anyway, when you come out, you're going to see. I come outside, the students have on, you see, the crossing guards, a very effective thing. They got on something on their back, let's say is lunch supervisor or something.
Right.
They leave class 10 minutes early and go and set up all the tables and plates for the whole school. Right? And facilitate lunch. And they got a shift system. So today is Azem and Amali, tomorrow is Jade and Kevon. Right? They go outside to play during break and so. The first bell ring, the entire yard freezes. Nobody got to come outside and say, you put on the ball, it's time to go back. The bell ring. The first time, ding, 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 you drop the tie and you just stand up.
And then got man there with a big belt hanging on his shoulder.
No.
Imagine that.
The second bell rings.
Imagine that.
The second bell rings, they proceed to the door and line up. Girls in one line, the boys in the other line. The
so
third bell rings.
Teacher one in them with a belt.
Not teacher outside. The third, I'm dead serious. The third bell rings and they proceed to their classroom. And these are 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds.
Yeah. Behavior can be taught, you know. Behavior can be taught. But we
without
have
violence, like there's no.
But let me tell you something.
Nobody running behind the chemistry lab with a belt.
Let me tell you something, right? With children especially, right? With children especially. Children tend to live up to the expectations placed on them, If you place certain expectations.
Positive reinforcement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, in other words, if I enable you with the skills to perform, if I set up the expectation, right, and create a system where you understand the value of what is being taught and all of that and thing. Because one thing children like is structure. As much as you see them running up and down the place, children like structure.
And they like to live up to the expectations of people who they adore.
Yes. And that comes through mutual respect. But let me tell you something. I don't consider myself somebody who is like great with kids or whatever. But one thing I realize, children who I meet my little cousins and things like that, they always come around, and I couldn't understand why I don't. I like me really like I. But what it is, I think, and it's based on people who would have observed how I interact. I don't interact with children like as if they're incapable of anything.
Me neither.
Like
even the small thought they make the big.
Yeah.
And I'm using with them.
I love using with children. But yeah, two sets of people like to talk to is children around the age
and old people.
Like children around the ages of like 5 to like 10.
Yeah.
The conversations are very interesting,
Very.
I love hearing about my little cousins there. Like
yesterday, right?
And I love when they talk to you about the people in their circle, in the class and so, like as if you know them. Like Akeem, you know Akeem do today? I have no idea, but tell me.
Yeah, yesterday a friend of mine, his son, how old is he by? About 7. We're in there talking and so, and then some other kids outside playing with a Sprite bottle, and kick it, and they come in the yard and hit one of the patrons in by the establishment, right? And he bust the car at the same time, so everybody in the yard thought this he do it. My mother's in anger abuse, lectured. They forced him to apologize to people and thing, and the boy is confused, like he ain't know what. But through small and so, they just feel like he don't like about it, so he's like, no, ain't me and thing. Anyway, the people them left the yard and so. So I saw him in the corner like with tears in his eyes and so. So I went up to him and said, I'm to you, because I didn't know what happened. I said, I'm to you, and his mother come and tell me the story. I said, oh. And then she went on to say, but it wasn't him, it was the kids outside. And the kids had me to do it after everybody don't leave and so. I said, so the wrongfully accused him, man? He said, yes. He said, yes. He upset. So I was watching him. I said, what now? Sometimes people accuse you wrongfully of things. I said, I'm going to tell him to me when I was in preschool. Him. I said, when I was in preschool, I was accused of pushing somebody off of the slide when I didn't. And to this day, nobody believed me.
I believe you though.
Yeah, not even sure.
Yeah.
When they pulled me inside, I was like, what are you talking about? And then somebody outside said, it's long time, I can't believe for things, you know?
That's all.
Somebody outside said, I see Amali do it. I just like,
boy, this is that long time back.
And you know what it all boils down to? Adults need to learn to apologize to children.
Well, my son is
Because
2 and I apologize to him.
If the simple case is where the child was accused of kicking the bottle and nobody knew otherwise, when it was discovered that it was actually not him, an apology needs to be given. Listen, we're sorry, we thought it was you, but it was actually Greg, and we're sorry we accused you.
it was definitely Greg.
And that whatever. And you know, you apologize to the child, so you let them know that mistakes are made and mistakes are sometimes okay, but apologies can be given. But then when you just accuse
and leave it,
and everybody know in you and you just leave it,
yeah,
you're
like,
really setting up that child for a really cruddy history.
If like the simplest of things, I would apologize to Jaden for, and Jaden is 2. I know he don't know what apology is, but you have to do these things from so it comes practice. Like, you ain't gonna just get up one day and decide when your child 10 that you're apologizing to them. You have to do this
and you know,
from the small.
Actually,
and that teaches them as well.
A lot of people don't respect children, full stop.
But that is the problem.
People just don't respect children.
That is the problem.
They don't see them as people.
They don't see them as people.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So yesterday I tell him.
Even know.
So I tell him, I said, listen, my boy, this happens. This can happen sometime to your life, and it's unfortunate, but we just got to move on. I say, I want some cake. He said no. I say, I want some juice. He said no. I say, I want some chicken. He said no. I say, I want to sit down and reflect on your thoughts. The man said yes. I said, have a great evening. and he started to smile. Because the man never come and reason with him like that.
Watch you. I don't understand.
Yeah, we can
Talk to children instead of talking at them, people.
Yeah, like
you might learn something.
You know what is growing me gears, and I know we have to take a break, but parents that talk down, shout at, like that little tug thing that it is do, that little threatening your 7-year-old. Like, I'm gonna top of your face if you listen. Like, I literally was in a car recently sitting there waiting, and I heard somebody and their child pass, and then when that person talk to that child, right? Like,
it's just, and it's always, I always go to places and I'm constantly hearing adults threatening children with the most absurd violence.
For doing children things.
A child gone.
A
child gone.
But you know one thing that stick with me. I remember we said we cannot expect kids who has been on the world. They've been in the world for a lot less time than adults. Like, this is people who here for 7 years. At 7 we ain't know nothing like that. Like, when at 2 we don't know that. Imagine you taking out your anger on a 2-year-old, right? Who been here for 2 years. What you expect a 2-year-old to know?
And that is why I disagree with a 14-year-old boy being criminally charged
full
for
circle.
having sex
Full circle.
with a 14-year-old girl.
Full circle.
He's a child. Just like how she's a child, they're equally guilty unless he rape her or she rape him.
Yes.
But anyway, in St Kitts, a woman can't rape a man. So let me out, yeah?
It has to be penetration for it to be rape.
Yeah, a woman can't rape a man.
Yeah. Anyway, you know.
And nobody's a problem with that.
Amali, you're triggering me right now. Could we take a break, please?
That make me angry. Like, I want to find out who this boy be going now.
And start the movement.
Start the movement. Justice for Trevor and whatever his name.
Come on.
Yeah, it sounds like a Trevor for you.
Yeah.
It's like a Trevor kind of story. We could just call him Trevor.
We call him Trevor. But you see, justice for Trevor mean something different.
Yes,
they give him an next black name, like.
Where's the St Kitts name?
Jake? No, they won't use Jade.
Jack one.
Jack one.
Justice for Jack one, yeah. So if Jack one's parents are listening, I support you.
Yeah, come on the show.
Unless you feel like guilty too, and it's a whole different story. But
I try to talk to him, I tell him.
You suit him. But no, I don't think so. I don't think any parent want to see the innocent baby boy be dragged for something that somebody else is equally responsible for.
Excuse me?
We in St Kitts.
Boss?
Nom.
You know what time I hear people say, "Where want the police lock you up?" And I mean it, eh? like they mean it.
Yeah, I understand
because
that.
when the police going with them, they're cheering.
I see what's terrible about this.
Yeah, but not when somebody else acts guilty and get away with it.
No.
But you know what? You know what's
terrible
about?
With the children and
me came with them. You're wrong. You're in jail. You're right.
It's aware that you all realize the difference in ways we raise boys and girls. Like,
of course,
the same mind. There could be twins, you know. There could be born the same, dead time, everything.
But of course.
But men, boys are taught to be these sexual beings and have the most women, and
your girls bear girls
women are taught to no protect.
You ain't got a girlfriend yet.
I agree.
So let me ask you a
saying.
question, right? Well, not you really, y'all, but the people have this ideology. If you think, right, that you're raising your son to be this way, who you think your son gonna have sex with?
But the other people aren't your children.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you feel like nobody gonna have sex with your daughter?
No, we know that.
We
know that.
Okay. Yeah, raise your boys to be girls, and then when
that's why they don't understand it.
No, but this is my problem. My problem is that we've come to a point where it seems that society recognizes this, but then again, instead of holding our boys to a higher standard, we then go and tell the girls, well, the boys could do it, you could do it too. That'll be my issue right there. Instead of holding the boys to a higher standard, I mean, like, look, it's a very important.
It becomes tit for tat.
And it's preached. I mean, I've said it here. I've been in households where I've heard 2-3 generations of women preaching to the youngest among them about how to use themselves to gain in life, to use their viscosity
and their voluptuosity, or lack thereof.
Right.
They must also different folks.
Hey guys, let's go to a break.
Let's take a break and let's don't come back because we're upset. And
We actually have an interview coming up.
And I'm going to talk about this again. And we're doing the interview and talk about this again. I said, but how do you feel about... Yeah, I talk about this every day.
Big up Jack on one time.
I added to me spiel in the end. Don't black out scientific workers and justice for Jack one.
Indeed.
Break time.
Break time.
We'll come back.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
We were made I'm so glad, 'cause it gets better with time. Oh girl, I like what you like what I like. We were made for each other. Oh baby, you are that someone I've been hoping, I've been looking for my days. Don't you ever think about leaving? This heart of mine would be grieving. Don't go. Stay.
Yeah, me that's
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali.
Don't think you can play sexy music and make me forget Bojack One.
But
Remember that.
we are back, and we are joined by the infamous Button.
The man say infamous here.
Button, everybody know who you be.
No, oh.
By your famous.
AKA Jamal.
Jamal, yeah.
Button.
Jamal, sorry. Button.
Jamal's Button.
Jade, this is where you tell me come from.
Button must know a guy now. He listen to the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Button a friend of the show.
What's going on, Armony?
Why? Them enjoying to fight Don Jaguar and me like it.
Wow.
What you already in this people?
So, Button,
What's up?
Come here,
What's up?
so let me brace you. Let me brace you in here. These people in here like to do tangents,
Yeah.
and they like to blame me for the tangents.
Who to blame with tangents?
I don't know what he's talking about.
I'll find the episode. But before we tangent too far,
Yeah.
let us take a moment for you to introduce yourself to the listeners and viewers and tell us a
Okay.
little bit about who you are and what it is you do.
All right, so as Amali said, I'm Jamal, alias
Button.
As the flyer said, I'm one of the hosts for the show right here on WINN FM called The Music Box, and it is every Monday, 8 to 10, where we bring you what's happening in entertainment in and around the vicinity of. So it's broad. You know, and I'm also the mic man for TNO Sounds. And, yeah.
The infamous Button. So you still need to know.
Man wears many hats.
You still need to understand why I say he infamous?
So you want to say, well, yeah, I want to know why.
You just said it.
That's what I tell Jason.
He part of a song called TNO.
Yeah.
You gotta be infamous.
Wow. Azem. It's not that serious. It's not that serious.
Kevon can't have any more. As a matter, but hold on there. Kevon slacking for earlier. You know, when last Kevon say eat local?
Because I fell up all in here.
Oh, okay.
You know what's this about the listeners?
I
You for the listeners too?
Surprise. No. Actually, I forget. Because we haven't had interviews like as much as we used to.
Jade dropping the ball by, as usual.
No, because the conversations need some time to marinate, so we need more time.
Jade is a habitual ball dropper.
I normally sing the jingles for each segment.
Well, I'm waiting. No? Ain't happening.
Hello, you can't wait.
He gets into character, finding inspiration.
Okay.
Eat local.
Yes.
That's what
It's the gentle one.
Okay.
All right, so you tune in every Monday night.
Azem, I'm the background music.
This is the background music.
So treat me like a poor. Wait a second.
Wow.
I need to feel music like Peter in Family Guy.
So the basis of the music box is to showcase.
Wait, but not to mark the lecture?
I didn't?
No.
Okay.
Just say what's the show about. Just say what the show about. The show that I host is about.
You have 8
right?
seconds.
Yeah. Right? It's basically to highlight the entertainment industry here in the island, and it's just not for singers only. It's broadened to promoters, entrepreneurs, you know, so we tend to give them that platform to highlight what they provide to the industry, in a sense to making it better. So it's just not a music artist only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, but like from what you described earlier, you obviously wear several hats, and you said that you were the mic man for a sound system called TNO Sound.
Yeah.
Right. Like, tell us a bit about your journey into that side of entertainment, because to be honest, I can't remember exactly what event it was. We look up and you were just like on the stage and I was like, wait.
Tropics.
Me and Jamal was this year.
Tropics.
Yeah,
2018 Tropics. That was me first.
That was a debut.
Debut that I didn't even know about. You know, that was my debut that I didn't.
That sounds about right.
I didn't know. I was just there standing, you know, listening to the sound, and MK at the time, he said, "Button come here," and my God. So it wasn't like I had time to prep my mind or nothing. It was just on the spot, and they go one time.
And MK, big up yourself.
Yeah, right. So what the initial conversation started from me doing what is called DJ Snapchat, where I, voice over music for
in your car.
In my car.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah. So people wanted to know who the person is behind the video, the voice behind the video, right? And that is where I used to just shout out, like Power Circle. I used to do Power Circle and Cane Juice. I used to do a lot of small businesses and stuff like that. There, people hit me up and say, "But I want you to do a voiceover." He said, "It's Friday. You know what time it is? Go and check out Zehena Artistry. Get that tint on your skin." so to speak. And then I think at one time Jamie reached out to me and said, "But I would like you to be a part of the sound." So it didn't digest good. You know?
It was just something in passing and...
Yeah, so I was like, be a part of the sound? Yeah, why a mic for the sound? So by now, I can't do that, You know? Jitters, me know how to be a mic man for a sound.
Is that new area? You had no prior desire to be doing that?
No.
Right, okay.
No. And then, the impromptu call from MK while I been in the crowd entertaining myself. I said, "Come, Mike." Like, dude, man, even know what going on. Like, the playlist.
Where the volume be?
Yeah,
How this work?
Like, you just said, look, just what he gonna play now, and this A, B, whatever.
So you crash course on the job.
And then, from there, things started to digest even more. Started to learn the board a bit better, learn self-taught myself too, how to use the machine. And
so you started learning the craft?
Yeah.
After having performed on one of the biggest stages?
One of the biggest
stages. Understand that imagine your first day on the job was Tropics.
Yeah. One of the biggest ones.
You know if you had failed, right?
I know.
It would have been real infamous.
But reluctantly, I shined that day. And people was like...
Bright like a diamond?
Well, the new moon. The new moon, the new moon. And, after I left the stage, people were like, "But man, you don't do these things." I said, "Man, I never do." So... Yeah, and
everybody fell at the same time?
Probably.
Including you?
Including me. And, so as time go on, I've been mentored by certain DJs, being given advice where to, do my thing. And I was really appreciated because, some of them saying, even though you got a radio voice. I said, "What is a radio voice?" They break it down. They say, you got this more calm, controlling, subtle voice. Hey, but then you still got a side to be a DJ voice. EK, for example, he got a radio voice and he still have
the DJ voice.
That DJ voice.
There's different dimensions to his character.
Yes. Yes. Man, I still learning that kind of character there.
Right.
Yeah, because then people would see it like, but man, you just get on so. But yeah, this is my alter ego now. It's been created.
What? Vince laugh.
Vince, oh, you're killing yourself. Vince,
shut up.
Big up Vince one time.
Don't big up Vince, you laughing have to.
He alright.
What is your alter ego called?
Eh? Well, Jamal.
There's Jamal, and then there's Button, and there's also Jamal.
Yeah.
Your name just got accent now.
Yeah, well, somewhere in there. Somewhere in there is an accent, but
our age.
We can't change it. You know?
Oh, Jamal.
So sometimes even so people ask me, how to spell the name? Jamal? So no, put in the H, please. You put in Jamal. Jamal.
Understand.
Yeah, so.
Understand.
Like I said, as time go on, I started to learn the craft even more and more and more. And that same year of Tropics, Cooler Fete, one of the biggest stages in Carnival too, and I did that as well. And seeing so much people out there, it was just mind blowing for me. I had jitters at first. Like I didn't even know what to do. So I had to put a mental block that nobody in the crowd. Think that is as you're doing DJ Snapchat.
Right. You go back to what's familiar.
Yeah. And that happened. And then I started to see video flying into me and saying, but I did this and whatever. Come December now. Red Devils. Then January, Ultra. So the work started to get in there.
Yeah.
You had a hell of a beginning, man.
Right, you just
launch right in the fire.
Straight to start.
Yeah, I think I did a music festival in 2019.
Yeah,
2019, the last one, yeah.
The last one.
Yeah, the last one. I remember that.
I think I did that as well.
Snappy, you've been doing things, man.
Doing things unannounced.
I tell you.
Yeah. But like what this saying to me is that sometimes you got people who see potential in you that you don't even see yourself, eh?
That's true.
And big up to Jamie one time. I feel like that's MK. I feel like that's the thing that Jamie specifically did. I hear him talking to people like a lot of people tell me, "By Jamie, tell me this, Jamie." Like, so that's something.
Jamie? Oh, Jamie?
Yeah.
You say Jamie, we know?
Jamie's a good guy.
By the way, if anybody hear me, are you fighting?
Yeah, I think he don't move silent. He don't move silent, but
Jamie crazy. I can tell her why at another time.
Actually, yesterday we and Jamie had a drink together, and he was there for part of the conversation too about Jack One. Are serious?
I want to shout out Harry's story. Harry's
another one got that energy too.
Harry's been definitely encouraging me to
even
be better than how I am right now.
Harry's been walking down 4th Street and saying, "I'm sleeping Jade," and said, "G, what you're doing here is important."
That's true.
And then you tell don't let anybody ridicule you and fuck you down and something. And
the personality for sure.
Yeah, the personality. The person the bonus minute is like, thanks. Thank you, sir.
Highlight of the day.
Continue doing it like this year. Don't let anybody fuck you down.
Highlight of the day, Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's been encouraging me to the fullest extent. So, and a few other DJs though. You know, I've looked up to, and they have advised me on certain directions to take.
Very cool.
Ike, truth be known, me and Terror that, you know, give me 1, 2.
Terror support people too.
Yeah, too. So, DJ Flames, for sure. If DJ Flames
will be too.
With that one?
Yesterday, yeah.
So y'all had a whole dance?
No, it was just a bunch of creatives reasoning, you know, about societal issues. And I gave them my word that I would be an advocate on WINN FM for Jack One. And they supported me.
You're doing great.
I just hope that when time comes to do things, and so they don't leave me in the dark.
You're for this Jack One, bye.
Huh?
You're for this Jack One.
We all are.
Well, when you hear what happened to me, you're going to be for him too.
I really can't understand how you just give this guy a whole name, but...
Kevon, what are we supposed to call him?
He has to have one. Okay.
We're going to call him John Doe?
No, let it be.
Jack One is not his actual name.
So who it is?
We know.
So yeah, just talking.
We just know that there's an individual
We know the situation.
that is facing injustice. And we know of his situation.
So we gave him a name.
Jekwan.
And I want him to come forward.
Wow.
Yes.
I hope the good Jack ones that are listening know that we don't mean them.
But then in the situation we can mean them.
Yeah.
Oh, they might be.
But then we support them too.
Yeah, exactly.
But Button,
yo,
I'm curious because
you want to know I get in name Button?
Yes.
Is that you sure is that you're gonna ask yourself?
No, but I am. But you're correcting this.
Two-pack question.
You're correcting.
So let me ask it for you then.
Yeah.
So this is my question. We would like to know where you got the name Button from.
Primary school. You're going deeper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep going.
So, I used to sing calypso at a younger age. Yeah.
Oh, really?
What? Where your calypso name was?
Button.
King Button.
King Button?
Yes.
King Button.
Yes. I came king.
My
first year.
Calypso king in our place.
I think I came a first and second runner-up while leaving the school. But the whole true story behind the name, I can't remember what. I think I did name Mighty J first. Right? For Jamal. Mighty J. So one day the school was gonna present us to the other students and announce that these are the participants. The same day I had a fight. Right?
Of course.
Mm-hmm. So it was
a challenge?
No, he went.
No, say Dean Glassford.
Dean Glassford, okay.
Yeah. So the same day I had a fight, and this big girl, taller than me, thick, decide to fight with me.
Imagine that.
Bust off all my butt them off me shop. So see me out there, try like I got a robe. So the teacher asked me, he said, "Where you button them?" I said, "Well, me got none." But my actual calypso name was Mighty No Button.
Oh.
Because I had none.
No button.
Yes, no button on my shirt.
And then eventually did not just drop
the button.
So yeah, as you go,
you get
letters fall off.
And buttons.
And you get buttons.
But yeah, that's it.
Like Puff Daddy and then P Diddy.
And then from P Diddy to Diddy.
To Diddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from Lil Wayne to Tunchi.
We talked about this the other day, and how the fact that Kittitians just get nicknames from the most amazing situations that have nothing to do with anything. You end up with a name that stuck with you for your whole life because somebody busts off your buttons.
Nobody does nicknames better than Kittitians, and no Kittitian does nicknames better than K.R. people.
Why? And your nickname is a direct result of whatever happened there.
Yeah.
Like it's directly related. Like not even like subliminal, like it's just like.
Yeah, cause sometimes they got a man name or some name and like I know do name Dog Hat. Like I don't know what situation you could have been in where Dog Hat is the name. Like they come up
Dog
with.
Hat?
Yeah.
And then at some point,
I feel
it's either when a dog and either drop off or hat and drop off.
Oh yeah.
Like often I got bad food.
But
yeah.
I want their food. What name? Jade, you know his dude name Badwater?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I know somebody in school named Chicken. Somebody in school named Chicken.
What your school nickname was?
Mine had none. They tried to stick a bunch on me, but they didn't score.
Which one stood out?
I know what mine was.
Mine was.
Yeah. And it's because I was awkward and clumsy.
But
well, not was, but you know.
But Amali don't put out your other nickname on the ear, so we want to refresh it.
Smoke dog.
Well, yeah, I got a rename you now, yeah.
You know she Smoke Dog?
No, I got Jinx in my phone.
But Smoke Dog.
Wow.
Tell me where Smoke Dog come from.
But Jamal wants to know how it is.
Jamal come on, know what he want, but this ain't gonna.
No, I would think it's a.
You okay?
Jamal.
Yeah, Bob the Law.
Wow. We have a question for you.
It's war. Yeah, Bob the Law.
I think Bailey had a question.
I hope so.
Yeah, save it, Jade. No, I mean, I feel like as someone involved in DJing and part of a sound system, like you're uniquely positioned in the industry when it comes to music. Like you probably get a lot of the music first, and listen to a lot of it.
I have to.
Yeah. What's your view on where we're at right now, like in terms of Kittitian music, the quality of music coming out, and the artists, bearing in mind that we're seeing some heat.
Yeah,
between some artists right now.
I've been following that heat, but that's good. Sometimes it's good for the entertainment musically.
Musically, okay.
Not the physical part of it, but musically, and sorry, to answer your question, the industry here is now being diverse. You've seen the true talent of the artists them here. You have like the likes. Sometimes I listen in music, and to hear what they're singing about. Sometimes how they articulate their words in such a way, it makes you think too. Rather than back then when they just used to just put out music for putting it out, say, without any meaning. Now they're taking their craft very, very, very seriously, right? You got the likes of iMac, Dijon, Bio and Messiah. You know, just to name a few.
Right.
Even down to the bands. I know a lot of us wanted to hear full-on Carnival, Sugar Mass 49. Right, and it didn't happen for many reasons, and I hope that the artists them here took the time out and took that time to perfect their craft and music. Jade, what you say?
I was about to say, right? Sometimes a little beef is good. For entertainment.
I said that, and I think I made a post the other day and said that who if you would like to see a St Kitts Sting, but he wouldn't name St Kitts Sting.
I don't think.
He wouldn't name Sting.
Like the hindrance.
You could call it Sting and Nickel.
I think like the hindrance.
Well, thank you.
The feelings that would come with it, because I feel like it would be more than music. Like I don't think Kittitians ain't know how to lose gracefully.
Not just that, Sting. When artists perform on Sting, they have a catalog of songs that are geared towards the person they're stinging against.
But that's
I only know one person that could do that. Then.
No, come on. Yeah, forget that. I'm like what?
Oh yeah.
Tune can done and that there.
Yes.
He also had the infamous highlight water.
Infamous highlight water. But okay.
I was more thinking about the new one.
How come everybody ain't going to be from here?
No, but this is my thing too. Highlight just skip to yourself. This is my issue I have with the beef. The reason why the beef is different in our context, as opposed to other areas of the industry. I said I'm in different countries. Is the reason I think it gets more serious here is because based on the, let me see how I should put it.
Oops. I kind of go answer that.
No,
it's like I could take a bus here and go there and see the person one time.
Not only that, and even that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that one, we have very few artists who are able to fully support themselves from the music, right?
That's true.
And all you have left a lot of times is your reputation, and the word, and them kind of things, right? And so in other situations where we could be for whatever, and it could stay music because I have a career that I need to protect.
Yeah.
Like I don't see that happening. And
not
only that, all I have is the reputation. Like I don't have anything else. I don't have royalty checks coming every week. I don't have performances next month in St. Martin or Anguilla and these places. So I think it's dangerous because of that reason. Like it's easy to get out of hand because the artist in a position where they're gonna feel it more than, because in the hierarchy of things that are going on, like pretty much that's it.
Right. Yeah. That's true. And as Jade said, a little beef is good now and again.
You got to ruffle some feathers sometimes, keep them alive.
Yeah. Keep your context alive.
Yeah. My thing is just that they ain't not noted.
Yeah, that's true. But Musically, not physically, because then next thing you know, you see the man in tongue you want to bust his face because he diss you on a track. And you feel like the track is better than your track.
But the small society, your small society, you're going to see this man somewhere. You got man beefing right now, live in the same hood.
That's true.
So we need to get to a place where we could keep it about music. Like, truthfully, right? There's nothing that y'all could tell each other that has been worse than what Cartel has told me about. And y'all listen and busting each other's face.
But they got money, Jade.
So, that's besides my point.
That is the point.
Well, y'all...
Also, Jade, there was a intense street war between the Gully and the Gaza. People died.
People died.
Mother, I can't tell you bust each other's face.
Because they're rich.
Well, here one, y'all. Okay, well, get rich and then y'all get rich then beef then.
That is it right there.
So before y'all start beefing, get some money, and then y'all could beach. Y'all could beef.
That's it right there. Get rich
freely,
and then beef.
But don't beef and but like if y'all gonna beef.
Don't beef for free.
If y'all decide to beef for free, understand it's just lyrical. Like y'all can't take it and turn it physical because for what y'all, this is the industry y'all chose. Y'all chose to be music, people beef in music. That's just how competition goes. So y'all can't tell me y'all want to be rappers and dancehall artists and then no, because somebody doing what they're supposed to do in music, y'all want to bust each other face.
I don't know in the last time I see two country artists beefing. But
where make country artists on beef?
Name the last two.
I feel like country women and I don't listen to country music.
She said she don't listen to country artists? As in country and western music?
I don't listen it to the extent for me to have the beef in.
Okay, so...
There does beef, but they just don't have diss tracks.
So, to piggyback on what Jade's saying, right? The other night, I spent at least 3 hours in Clubhouse listening to DJ Fras and Not Nice them going back and forth about where Cartel started from. And, you know, he got to give credit to Bounty Killer. Because
everybody got to give credit to Bounty Killer.
Right. And
everybody.
one of the dynamic, I can't remember fully what he's a DJ too, but he was saying that the legacy that is left behind, right, sometimes don't suffice the legacy that is now, being as, you know, you had like Bounty Killer, Super Cat, them and them there back then. Now each generation will have their own legacy. So you can't compare Jordan and LeBron. That's nonsense. I don't hear people argue that kind of
different era.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, you build
Bastard.
Hey.
Jamal Washi.
No.
Where? Oh no, Washi.
No, Jamal Washi too.
Bastard High School.
Washi too.
We're gonna do this over the ear.
We're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it over the ear.
What school did you go to?
Bastard High School.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
No, I had my tie in my pocket though.
The man is intelligent.
You had
my
what?
tie in my pocket.
So you went both?
Yeah. I don't sit down in whole class, but we're gonna get through that. We're gonna go through all of that there.
What's saying is I can't do that.
Walk to the gate, we'll be tired. Nobody asks me.
You do them things now, man.
Yeah.
You do them things now, man.
I never did that.
What?
I had no interest in getting up there.
You never bow somebody tell you I went in the school?
No, because the girls used to walk down after school, so I had to go up there.
I had my own time.
Go in the square and sit down and
I hope my mother ain't even listening that, you know. Right? So I was saying the history where Cartel came from. You know, he had the Bounty Killer. Then he went to Alliance. I think it was the Alliance at the time. And they started to say about the war. Yeah. The war between the Gully and Gaza. But you gotta understand where it all stemmed from. Because then you had big ship and so between there. And a lot of, if you ask these youngin who these people, like, these could be, they won't know.
No, they don't know.
You know, so here we in return have to leave our legacy behind too. You're talking like the Masood. If you boss a Masood now, it's still big.
I mean, real talk.
If you boss a long time infamous, it's still shot. You got to leave your name within the history of music.
Yeah, man. SP's Finest got big chunk ring out Bamboo Bee.
Bamboo Bee.
Yeah.
To do so without fighting.
Yeah, without the fight.
Somebody lyric, like, trust me, I feel like the lyrics that y'all telling each other light. I need to
Jade,
talk
bye.
people mother and so because I'm comparing it to the things that I've heard other dancehall and rap artists say like them is fighting words. Y'all.
Yeah, but them man.
Yeah, but
They will call for boss mouth.
Yeah, but my thing is, it hit different. It hit different when you're in a different place.
Mm.
Oh
that's
well.
I don't think we're at the place.
Where we can consume it maturely.
Well, then don't do it because if you can't.
That's my whole point.
if
Get
you
rich and
can't-
then beef.
Yeah, and if it's taking too long, I don't know what to tell you.
Come on, laugh.
Watch it. It's one thing, right? It's one thing when somebody like abusing your mother, say, well, your mother is a streetwalker. When you know your mother like right now struggling, and you as a son want to help and can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
That hit different when you just buy your mother a house and somebody say your mother walk in the streets. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, hit different.
Somebody just said, remind them man about Soundcore. With Okolo, he was a foundation producer.
Well,
He
that's
produced Man for Zion from Bamboo Beat.
Yeah, that's true. Some cool. I felt about bad. Cause remember I had the Ghetto Shanty records.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Ghetto Shanty, the man down there.
These people need to come on the show. I need to hear these stories.
Some show went to the other day and SP's finest perform. Oh, it was during the campaign.
Yes, it was during the campaign.
And I was like, where the find this man?
But yeah.
I was
That's
laughing. I was like,
That's how the shelf by.
Hey, wait no, talking more though. I remember Chronicle Family from Can.
Yeah.
I mean, his name there.
Fire and Jaya and all them and so.
Yeah.
Shackle start.
Shackle.
Yeah. But I'm cool, yo.
Yeah.
I used to be Can every weekend, yo.
He had a bunch of reggae bands. He had band like House of Judah and.
Oh, I remember House Judah for sure.
They used to play in the square and thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
We gotta find these man here and showcase
yeah,
these
we
man
need to hear
again.
these stories.
The legends
Yeah.
of music in St.
I like they expect to see and music box coming up, man.
Yeah, we tried to dig into some old school, you know, some old school. It was real great to sit down with Mr. Mention and, you know, and upcoming.
Oh, Mention came to our show?
I mean, we didn't even
When I go silent, it's just me excluding myself from certain conversations.
Yeah.
I'm still present.
And that's what I want to know, Kako Fight.
Boy,
excluding myself
Jamal?
from this.
Bye.
Jamal.
it's a pleasure having you.
Yeah, I know. Thank you guys.
We need to go home.
Man, we'll have a cup of tea. What is tea? All of that done with? Jade? Kevon?
Don't let me ring out your shirt.
Alright,
What?
anyways.
Actually, them are big now, them are buttons here.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, okay, hang on to that. But
It's mad.
I'm
he
sure he has
learned,
buttons at home.
he learned from young.
Smoke dog indeed. Smoke dog indeed.
Every time the Jade story now. You know what I said tomorrow? on
Time to go home.
on Fruition Fridays. I'm gonna look at the bag. Anyway, we're leaving. So Jamal, thank you for being here with us.
Yeah.
Very fulfilling conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And we do wish you all the best in your future emceeing endeavors.
Yeah, for sure.
And other endeavors as well. Your dad.
And so are you. And so are you.
So
yeah,
is,
but mainly guest though.
so is the child called Mini Button?
No.
Baby Button?
No.
But baby
All
button.
he missed out on them opportunities.
Baby Button?
Ain't too late.
Cause still a baby.
Well, if people know who my dad is, they just call me his nickname, Joe.
Oh,
I feel like you should have passed it on.
Baby Sailor.
Baby Button.
Baby sailor.
No. They just said Sailor, that's it.
Baby
No,
Button.
maybe you.
First
The
Oh, okay.
baby.
Baby Button.
No, man.
Mini Button.
You got Kiki.
Anyway, have a great day, yo. If you don't care, son, you only here for the girl and boss. But hey, that man, he don't. Anyway.
Yeah.
So Jamal, yeah, thank you very much, and we hope to, have you again sometime in the near future.
Yeah, when I come like a Patrick the hype man out there.
Yeah, they're gonna be this year though, because for this year we're going to be inside for the most part. Small, intimate events.
Could be linear, man.
Could be linear, yes.
Billionaire by the small events,
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
One button at a time.
One button at a time.
But
I'm so funny.
Anyway, folks, we're leaving. Tomorrow is Friday, the best day of the week for people who have a job. For me and Kevon, just a regular day. That's it too. Oh boy.
I'm going to pick up seashells on the beach.
And listen to the ocean. Yeah.
Don't go in
That's
the
all we do.
ocean because sharks in there.
Sharks are in there. Anyway, Folks, don't drink too much and drive. Drive safely. Use the roundabouts correctly. When entering the roundabout, stay in your lane. Don't overtake in the roundabout. Indicate upon exit.
Indeed.
Also, don't park your vehicles in a way that will obstruct our sanitary workers, because we have to keep our country clean.
Keep our country clean.
Here.
And second to lastly, please stop attacking our 14-year-old boys
for doing what is biologically...
For experimenting with their bodies.
Imagine that. Justice for Jack One.
Justice for Jack One. And I say it every day.
Every day.
Justice for Jack. We need to change these laws. And finally, I will hand it over to the Master of Ceremonies to give you his outro.
Remember, everyone, you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. Goodbye.